Hi guys, it's a wet, horrible, windy day in Morecambe today. Storm Amy is raging outside, so I'm doing a bit of rig building. And I thought I'd make a quick video because I posted a video about flappers the other day. Went on Jerry's page and on my own. And I got a couple of people asking, one guy in particular saying, that's fine, Matty, I can see what you mean, but can you go through how you would make it, how far apart you do everything and what have you. So I'm going to keep this really simple. I'm not going to get a tape measure involved. I'm just going to do it so you can do it by yourself without having to worry about measuring everything. Okay, let's get into the components required. So a nice link for your lead, that's that one. Lots of companies make their own versions. I've got a little power swivel there for the top of my trace body, so that's going to connect to my main line. Hooks. Flappers, I'm usually fishing for plaice, flounders, things like that. Sensible size hook. Those INOVA Camisori Aberdeens are fantastic. Really sharp, nice J hook. Some little beads around my snoods. So they're there. Again, colour doesn't matter. I tend to put on my flappers orange, just so when I'm in and out my box, I know it's all colour coded. I know that if I'm going for one with orange beads on it, it's not a clip down, it's a flapper. Some crimps for either side of those beads. And then some smaller swivels for my snoods. They are the INOVA boom swivels. They just give you a little bit more of a kick off. There's loads on the market. And there's my little crimping tools for nipping everything up. Again, not necessary, but I like them. Just a little bit finer than trying to go it with a set of pliers. So we'll start off with rig body. Loads of different ones on the market. This is £60. Again, when you're making rigs, some people get obsessed. Your snoods must be a certain length, your rig body. If you're trying to keep it simple and you're just starting, this is for you. You don't have to measure if you don't want to. I tend to just take off arms width apart, maybe a touch more, just to allow for myself timing knots and what have you. Take your clip that's for your lead. That goes on one end. Again, I'll tie this on with a uni knot rather than a blood knot. The reason being that your cut off tag end is facing back up the line. So there you have it. There's your lead link. See what about that tag end just sticking back up that way. Next, it's time to put your snoods on. So, and get these in the right order, because I've done it so many times when I'm not concentrating. You get your little crimp on first. So crimp, bead, your snood swivel, another little bead, and your next crimp. And because I'm going to make a one up, one down flapper, this is going to go all the way down to the bottom. So right down to the bottom near the clip. So just nipping them up now with these. Your little crimping pliers, just a couple of little gentle squeezes. Don't have to squeeze the hell out of it and damage. You don't want to damage this rig body because obviously your lead's going on then you're casting. And I like to leave a little gap. You'll see some people that will put them in really tight like that. I just want a little gap. I just want that swivel to move and do its job. There's no need to have them super tight together. So there you go, a little bit of movement in that. So you've got your first one, and then people sort of sometimes struggle where to put the next one. Little trick, just fold your long length of the line here, your main rig body, in half. So if you fold that roughly in half, like that, that's your next position for your next one, so that they're nicely spread out. So I'm going to go through the same process again. Crimp, bead, snood swivel, bead, another crimp. You've seen that once, I'll get that position, I'll come back. Again, so that's your top snood in place. So you've got your bottom one, down there near your lead. So that's the one that's fishing below your lead, that's your one down. And that's your one above the lead. And it's halfway down that long length of rig body. Now, some people will cut that off there and they tie the swivel that attaches to your main line on there. I don't. The reason I've made this long and the reason why that's halfway down is that my swivel will go at the very top. So that when I've made my snoods, that top snood can't fold back during casting or when it's on the seabed and tangle around that clip. So there you go. Nice power swivel at the top. Love these. Very small, you know, not a big chunky swivel, nice and small, but loads of power. That'll never let you down. So a good power swivel at the top. Let's get the snoods on. Now for your snoods, remember, we haven't measured any of these. We've just gone roughly off arms. Same again. Look at that distance between there and there, and cut off 2 pieces of line that are slightly less than that. Just cut them 2 slightly less than that. Snood lines, loads on the market. Pick a sensible one that you like, that suits your needs. So there's some of my old favourite there, Red Amnesia. Really like that, like the feel of it. Maxima, £15. Another one there in £20. Right, hook's going on. So I've cut off my 2 lengths of Snood material. I've gone clear on this one. So that's clear and it's £20. That AKIOS-INOVA Camisori hook. And again, I'll use a grin or a uni knot on these because I've got that tag end pointing back up the line, which means when I'm threading on baits such as blow lug, I'm less likely to blow them into bits. You know, you put a great big blood knot and you've got that tag end coming on sideways and you try to feed your nice little lugworm on and you're bursting it. So get a nice baiting needle, do a uni knot. It helps to stop that. There you go, hook tied on. Let's get that in there so you can see it. See what I mean about a knot? That tag end is facing back up. And I've not been too shy, I've not trimmed it right down because it'll help actually. So when you go past, that's a little bit of help keeping that bait on as well. It's not going to slide back down as easy. Plus, if you get a really big fish on, you know, you want a bit of cover if something slips. So there you go. And because it's flat fish, I like a bit of attraction, so I'm just going to pop a couple of these on. Glow beads, rubber gums, there's loads on the market. You can get the hard ones, you can get pop-ups, whatever your preference is. Some people don't like any bling at all. Some like loads. You can get those sort of rotating blades. Done it myself. I've gone from having loads of stuff on there, it looked like a necklace, to having next to nothing on. At the moment, I just like a couple of little rubber beads. Just a bit of attraction. Also just helps hold everything in place. So there you go. So there's my hook. A little bit of beaded there, bit of attraction, and there's my snood. I'm going to do the process again, exactly the same, and then I'm going to attach both of those onto those swivels. So we're all done and dusted. Just go through it again for you. Lead clip at the bottom. There's your bottom snood. Halfway up, remember like I said, folded it over. There's your top snood. Power swivel at the top. Nice long rig body. I'll touch on again why it's a longer rig body and why I've done it like I have. Remember we said about that measurement there, that snood, we took that from the distance between those 2 snood swivels. The reason being that when you cast out, what you don't want is it folding back on the cast and catching up and tangling with the other snood. So as you can see there, that's a good 8-inch short there. And the same with the top snood. That's going to fold back, but it's not going to tangle around that because we've made that longer on purpose. A lot of people don't do that with the top one. They'd have that swivel there. I just want it to go out right every time. You can make your rig body even longer and space those snoods even further apart. Just trying to keep it simple for you guys. I hope that helps. I hope the gentleman that messaged me asking for more information is happy with it. I'm sure he won't mind me mentioning his name, Isaac. I hope that helps, mate. That is just how I do it. Keep it simple. Don't even need a tape measure. Thanks for watching.